Hey, I'm Lisa, and I always thought I had the perfect life. I was the valedictorian of my high school. I was in a long-term relationship with my boyfriend Ben, and I was about to graduate from Harvard Law School. But one day, I heard a notification on Ben's phone. He'd just left to go to a lecture and must have forgotten it. When I picked it up, I noticed that he had a WhatsApp message from a girl called Melanie. He had never mentioned her, so I started reading through their conversation and saw that they had been chatting for weeks. My stomach churned as I read their conversation. They were seriously flirting. I felt even worse when I saw Melanie ask him, "Did you get yourself checked?" My boyfriend Ben replied, "I went to the doctor today and he gave me the all clear." What the hell does that mean? When Ben came back from his lecture, I immediately confronted him. "I've read your conversation with Melanie," I told him. "What's going on? Are you cheating on me?" But instead of answering me, he got mad. "I thought you said you'd never go through my phone," he said. "Didn't you say relationships are built on trust?" Wow, I couldn't believe it. He was trying to turn this whole thing on me. "How can I trust you?" I said. "You've been flirting with another girl. Have you slept with her?" "Of course not," Ben replied. "You know you're the only girl I want." "So why were you chatting with her?" I asked. "We're partners on a college project," Ben explained. "There's nothing going on between us." He gave me a big hug and I felt a little better, but I couldn't ignore the fact that they had been flirting on WhatsApp for weeks. And they hadn't talked about any college project either. Things were a bit weird for the next couple of days because I couldn't stop thinking about what I'd read. In the end, I decided to find out the truth. So when Ben took a shower, I grabbed his phone and wrote Melanie a message which said, "Want to come over to my place? My girlfriend has gone away with her parents, so we can study here without distractions." She immediately wrote back, "Sounds great. What's your address?" Not long after, she arrived at our apartment wearing a very sexy dress and bright red lipstick. There was no way she'd come to study. I mean, she didn't even have a laptop or books with her. When I opened the door, she looked shocked to see me, and I called out to Ben, "You've got a visitor!" When my boyfriend Ben saw Melanie in our apartment, he looked shocked too and couldn't bring a word out of his mouth. Next, I turned to Melanie and asked her if she always dressed like a hooker when she met up with my boyfriend. And then she said, "Now I know why your boyfriend wants to spend so much time with me. He can't stand you because you are an annoying bitch." Wow, I was about to explode, but I kept my cool and simply smashed the door into her face. Afterwards, Ben immediately apologized to me about what happened, saying Melanie had been obsessed with him and that he didn't know how to keep her at distance. But I know what I read. My boyfriend had been flirting with Melanie for weeks. We're still together, but I can't really trust him anymore. He tried to hide their chat, and when I asked him what Melanie meant about getting checked at the doctor's, he said he'd just been feeling sick that day. But I don't believe him. It sounds to me like he'd been tested for an STD. Anyways, thank you for listening to my story. I'd love to know what you think I should do. Should I break up with Ben or stay with him?